Guys, today we are going to be feeding the African river tank. I've got so many fish in here. It's pretty crazy just how many fish I have. But let me tell you about them. The first fish that we have here is the Congo tetra, and that is a male that just went in and out, and another male. And those Congo tetras are fantastic animals. They're offered for sale in pet stores when they're quite small and they look like little silver tetras, not very distinct. But when they grow up, they turn into these amazingly beautiful animals. I have some water spots on the glass. But boy, the Congo tetras are just amazing. The males and the females look quite different. You can see the males, for the most part, and some smaller animals, they are up on the top. And the bigger guys, they're hanging out right there. There's a nice big male Congo tetra. So these animals are quite hungry. It's been about 24 hours since they've been fed. So we're gonna live feed them very, very soon. Let's talk about the second fish that's in here. The second fish is the Crebensis cichlid, also known by the scientific name Pelvicochromis pulcher. Now, it's a long story why these are called cribs or rainbow cribs. They used to think their scientific name was Pelvicochromis crebensis, but we now know that's really a completely different, totally separate fish. The Pelvicochromis are really interesting because the pH affects the sex of the baby fish or the fry. And what happens is that if you have a high pH, like I do, a pH above 7, you're likely to get more females than males. And that is exactly what happened with me, is that I did this. Let's see if we can get this thing to focus closer. I started out with 4 fish, 3 females and 1 male, and they bred. And you know what? They hardly had any boys. Only 3 boys did I get. All the rest males. So the Pelvicochromis pulcher, you can see that's a male right there in the center with the red on his chin, and that's a female with yellow on the chin. So if you notice, most of these fish in here are, in fact, female Pelvicochromis pulcher. Now the third fish here is the African firebarb, sometimes called the African barred barb. That's a mouthful. And sometimes it is called the African banded barb. This is the Fasciolatus barb. They are from a river that drains into the Congo, kind of in the southern part of the Congo and down into Angola. The Angolan barb is another name for this fish. Let's find some more. But there are about 12 Angolan barbs here. And when you see these guys in the pet store, they're not very interesting and they're usually pretty tiny. But as you can see that one right there? That is a male, and they get really, really red. Unfortunately, I think I only have about 1 male, but that is him, and he is just a bright, bright orange. So we're going to start feeding these fish. Please join us for the live feeding. we're going to feed them right now. I'm feeding a mix of different live foods. Look at that, man. They just go crazy for that live food. Look at that. Oh, man. I mean, the food was live at one time, right? And I am feeding bloodworms, I am feeding brine shrimp, I am feeding mysis shrimp, and copepods. And I like to put in a little bit at a time because that just really piques their interest. So let's put in another squirt. I put the food in an eyedropper, and bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. Those fish are just going crazy, crazy, crazy eating this food. Let's try it again. There we go. It's super fun, guys. Super, super fun. Aren't those awesome? So cool. Look at them swirl. Eat that food. Take a look back. This aquarium is 110 gallons, and there are probably about 60 fish in there. Well, my phone is down to about 3%, so I'm going to finish feeding these guys up. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.